Well, hello. I felt a slight chill in the air the other day, so that can mean only one thing. So by popular demand, you guys have been asking for it, I am doing an updated sweater collection tour. I did this a couple years ago, but because I'm a hoarder, of course I've probably acquired more sweaters. We need a little update. And also the audio quality of the last video sucked. And forgive me if I go through this rather quickly. There are a lot of sweaters here and a few of them aren't that interesting, so I'm just gonna glaze over those very quickly and focus on the more interesting ones. First things first, we're starting off with the bang. Literally just a sad beige sweater. She is very soft and it's very cropped, has a nice lantern sleeve, which I love. And the brand is Zara, but I'm pretty sure I got this off of thredUP to layer over dresses. Next is this Croft & Barrow, I can read, Fair Isle style striped sweater. This is actually the sweater that I've owned the longest. I believe I got this in 2012 or 2013 from Thrift Town when that still existed. Actually, it's back now, but I heard it sucks. Next, we have the first of many, KJP, and I don't think that they have this specific sweater on their website anymore, but there is a similar fox sweater, so I will link to that one. But this one is a nice oversized cozy sweater. Some of their sweaters are unisex, and then some of them are like men's and women's. You just have to read the size chart. I don't remember what this is. I think this might be the unisex one because it's small, but it's nice and flowy and oversized. Next is arguably probably my most expensive one, and I'm very ashamed how much I spent on this and my rationale for doing so. But I believe I bought this during like 2021 or 2020, I can't remember. Whenever Animal Crossing was like my thing. But if you know, you know, but if not, I'll tell you, this is very similar to one of the sweaters from Animal Crossing, and when I saw it, I immediately needed it, and I threw out all reason and self-control and bought it anyways. This is a Dolce & Gabbana. I bought it secondhand, but she was still expensive. I wanted to look like my Animal Crossing character. Very, very cozy and sweatery. That is an adjective. And I look like an Animal Crossing character. Speaking of, boom. I also got this one because it looks like an Animal Crossing sweater, specifically the one that my homeboy Filbert wears. You didn't think I was also gonna get a matching plushie? Actually, my husband got this for me. Now I match my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
He's my best friend, he's my pal.
In the game, and I haven't played the game in like a year. But at least I have a sweater that somewhat resembles one from the game. Priorities. And next is a sweater that is in line with my other man's sweaters that I get from the men's section at the thrift store. Don't pass that up. The grandpa sweaters are elite. I might be your grandfather.
Hi there, young people.
And then this one is a Universal Threads. This was also thrifted, pretty much, I'll say if it's thrifted and not thrifted, but this one is really nice because it has this like bulbous sleeve. It's kind of a lantern, but I don't know, reminds me of a leaf for some reason. Also, the texture and the color very much reminds me of moss. So I feel like a mossy little goblin in this. It's also very soft and very cozy, which is a reoccurring theme. This is a sweater video, of course it's cozy. Next, we have a mustard little guy. It is somewhat cropped, and of course we have the lantern sleeve. That is a reoccurring theme. I like my flowy sleeves. I also really love this color with my hair. It's very much giving ketchup and mustard. And I also love kind of the scalloped bottom. Very nice. And not too cropped either, so I feel like I'm like flash anybody when I raise my arms, unlike the sad beige sweater, which is why I wear it with dresses. Next, we have yet another cropped chunky knit sweater. This one also has kind of lanterny looking sleeves, although this one is kind of a turtleneck, but not so much that it strangles you, but it's loose enough to where I don't feel like I'm gonna die. This is thrifted, but I'm trying to get in the habit of telling you guys the brands. H&M. And another KJP sweater. We have the leaf one. I don't remember the specific name, but it's like the famous leaf one. I got this one in the women's medium, and it fits exactly the same as the unisex small, so keep that in mind. And they do have other colorways, and I want them, but ain't nobody got money for that in this economy. I did get one for my friend Sarah. However, I got hers secondhand from thredUP. I just stumbled across it. It wasn't in the KJP brand section. It was like listed as unbranded, and it was $40, which is very, very good because these bad boys will set you back 128 smackrels. I didn't say I was fiscally responsible, okay? The reason why I show this stuff on videos is a tax write-off. Every influencer and her mom and sister and cousin have these, but actually, you know what? I didn't even buy that one. So I thrifted Sarah's, but I didn't buy that one. I think I won that in one of those influencer giveaways, if I remember correctly. And it was my very first KJP. The Fox one I bought. And the next one that you are going to see is secondhand, which is not yet. Patience. The next one is very reminiscent of the KJP leaf sweater, and I specifically got this because of that. This is Talbot's size small. I got this off of ThreadUp. However, even though I ended up with the KJP sweater, I told myself that I'm going to keep both. Even though before I got it, I was like, once I get the KJP sweater, I'll get rid of the Talbot's one. But I ended up keeping it because you know why? Because even though they're similar in color scheme and they both have leaves, they are for very different functions and very different weather. This one is nice and thin. It's more t-shirt-y, like a thicker knit. So it's perfect for early autumn, like when you want to be autumnal, but you don't want to roast your buns off. And it's also great for layering so you're not too bulky. So if you want to tuck into pants, skirts, or if you want to wear a pinafore, it's great for that. Yeah, pro tip, get yourself some thin sweaters if it's not too freezing cold where you are. This next one is very dear to me. Please don't unsubscribe. I love me a cute critter kitschy sweater. I love deer. However, I am traumatized by Bambi. I did see it when I was like 4. Every time I see a baby deer, I want to cry. And the brand is Peter Jensen. It's a size small. This is what the tag looks like. If you can see it, she's creased. Speaking of leaves, it's another theme. We have this gorgeous darling vintage sweater with all of these like leaf knit details in it. It also has like a scalloped edge. This is Van Heusen for her, hand knitted. And it's very much giving vintage, but I don't know how vintage or if it's vintage. Every time I say vintage 90s, some of y'all have a heart attack and say that I'm calling you old. Listen, I was born in the early 90s, so I feel old too. But technically anything older than 30 years is vintage. Some people say anything older than 20 years is vintage. People were calling Y2K stuff vintage, and I was like, oh. This is among my favorites. If I were to rank them, this is in my top 10, and there's a reason why it shows up every year in my lookbooks. The coveted Talbot's mushroom sweater that I finally was able to find, I ended up having to go with a small petite. So she's a little short on the arms and on the length for me, but it's fine. She's a 3/4 length cropped sweater for me, and that is fine. Those who know me well know that I was after this sweater for the longest time, and last year I finally found it, and I refused to get the dupe because the dupe sucked. And also, like, we are trying. We are not perfect, but we try wherever possible. Moving on, we now have this one, which is a Princess Highway sweater that I got from ModCloth a couple years ago. It's another thinner knit, but it's not as thin as the Talbot's. She's not thick, she's not thin. It's just right. And this one, I found in the back of my closet. I don't think I've worn it in a while, but it's cute. Like, we got the orange, we got this purple that like is stellar on my skin tone. So I'm gonna try to style this this year. I can also wear it backwards. I didn't try it on backwards, but it has like this ring on the back. And I know this is the back because that's where the tag was, but I think I removed the tag so I could wear it backwards so it can be like a sporty polo look. And then this one I didn't do a try-on clip because it's see-through and I couldn't be bothered to find an undershirt or something to wear underneath it. I didn't want to show y'all my bra. I've worn this several times on this channel. If you want to see me wearing it and you haven't, maybe you have some catching up to do on some videos of mine that you haven't watched yet. What I love about it is the sleeves. Got cute little bell sleeves. And also I love this color on me. Listen, I know I just talked a bunch of crap about dupes, but I do have this dupe of the KJP cream version of the leaf sweater. I caved, so don't judge me. It is really soft and really cozy. It's actually softer than the KJP. This is also technically a duperoonie of the pumpkin sweater that you guys are gonna see later, which I do have the original of. They just don't have the like a burgundy version. They have a brown, green, and I don't even know if the green is currently like you can actually buy it, but they also just recently came out with the cream version, which I really want. Well, since we're talking about the pumpkin sweater, I may as well show her off. Definitely a lot better quality. Like if you put these side by side, this one looks nicer. The details are detailing. It's a much like sturdier quality of thread fabric. I don't know. I'm stupid, okay? And it was an investment. I think I got it off Poshmark for like $80-ish, which is still cheaper than what you would get it off of KJP. The only one that I've bought brand new from the KJP website was the Fox one. Someday, when I am rich, I will tell no one, but there will be signs. I will own every single KJP fall sweater. Speaking of pumpkin maroonies, we have this one, which I also styled in the last video that I did. This is a short sleeve, kind of cropped sweater from ModCloth. I believe it is Bright and Beautiful is the brand, and this was part of a PR package, my very first PR package. Speaking of leaves, we have yet another leaf sweater. This is an embroidered olive green little number. I got this at, I believe it was the antique fair in Sacramento at one of the vintage vendors, and the brand is Erica. Never heard of it. The tag is cute though. And then we have another thin little, kind of a, I don't know if this is waffle knit. Someone who's like a fiber expert, tell me what kind of knit or whatever that is. But this one has a cute little bell sleeve and some velvet cord here to make a little bow. It's very cute. It's very comfy. It's one of those pieces that you throw on and you feel put together because it's not too basic. You know, it's got those cute little details, but it's not too like flamboyant, if that makes sense. These are some sweaters that I DIY'd last year. So this is the first one, and I actually cropped it, and it was a huge risk. It could have unraveled on me, but I managed to sew the band from the bottom back onto it after I cropped it. And then I did like some stitching with the yarn and it held together. Granted, I've only worn it a couple times and it hasn't fallen apart. So that's probably by some sort of miracle. And then we have the second one. I did more than one because I was trying to find like the perfect navy sweater, and I ended up thrifting like a bunch of them. I ended up putting some patches on this one too, and then adding like a little bit of like a trim on the bottom. This has kind of a scalloped edge like that mustard sweater. This one I feel like is gonna hold up more because it wasn't cropped. I'm a little less scared to wear this. And then next I have featured this guy to death, but I will continue to plug this sweater because it's like literally my favorite sweater in my entire wardrobe. My house was burning down and my cats and my dog were safe and my husband was safe, but I was allowed to grab one item to save from my burning house, one piece of clothing. It would be this one because I, without fail, feel stinking adorable in this. The details are amazing, are so freaking cute. Like, I can't. And it's great quality. It feels amazing. It's thick, but it's soft, but it's breathable. It's the perfect sweater. I try not to wear it every single day in the autumn if I can help it, but I want to. And yes, it'll be linked down below. It is available. There's a full length and there's a cropped length, and I don't have the code on me, but I will put the code for Animal Crossing if you want your Animal Crossing character to wear this, because I did make a custom design. Speaking of Knock Thrice, which that, by the way, that was the brand. This is my most recent acquisition. This is the Wisteria Knight, and it is beautiful, of course. Has these pauldron scale mail designs with chains, and then we've got the dagger on the front and the bracers, and of course it's lantern sleeve. I also got the shield backpack, which I haven't shown you guys yet. And then the last Knock Thrice sweater that I have, the OG, the one that I got first, is this one. This is a full length. I think this is before they offered cropped, but it also has all of the cool embroidered details and the dagger and the bracers with this like lace up detail. I don't wear this one nearly as much as I should. I think it's because it's not cropped and the length is very awkward on me. I am considering if I'm able to see if there's like a buy sell trade group, or if anyone is willing to trade me for this one. If there's one that they have that they don't like, that they want to trade for this one, maybe I'd consider that, especially if it's one of the Over the Garden Wall collection or the Forager. I very much want the Forager sweater. That is like the next one that I want to get. But even when it came out, like I really wanted it and I kept putting it off. But then the Harvest Witch came out and I was like, oh no, I need that one. And then I got the Wisteria. Like I keep putting it off even though like it's the one I want. So this is a size small. The sleeves are a little short compared to the other ones. This was like one of their first ones that they came out with. But if anyone, I mean, I'll put it out there that I'm interested in swapping this or selling this or something. I don't know, but I do love it. It's just I don't wear it and it deserves to be worn and to be shown off. Oh my God, we are hitting on the last few. too. This one, I'm just gonna be really brief. This is just a little cardigan. I did not include all the cardigans I owned, but I did grab this one because it was in the stash over here. It's just a basic little cardigan. I was originally going to embroider on this one, but I love it so much and it goes with so many outfits. It's a really nice basic and it's such high quality, I decided not to embroider on it. This is an ASOS design cardigan and I got this off of Mercari for a really good price from a very nice lady. And then we have a striped sweater, a nice basic, but with enough pizzazz. And you know what they say about striped sweaters. Last, we have this I believe it's Talbot's. Yes, we have this Talbot's, kind of like a grandma-y cottagecore, very sweet, very cute sweater with a lot of really pretty details on it. We've got like fruits and flowers and bees. It is honestly the most adorable thing besides my Knock Thrice sweaters that I own, and I don't wear it nearly enough. And part of me was like, oh, you're not as girly as you were. You're more into like darker stuff, more whimsigoth than you are cutesy little cottagecore. So I was trying to convince myself at one point to sell it, but then I was like, no, because girl, you're gonna change your aesthetic in like a year. Knowing myself and my ADHD little ass, I should hold on to this because if I get rid of it and then I go back to girly, I'm gonna be kicking my own ass for getting rid of it. I'm gonna hold on to it even if I don't wear it because it's just that unique. So anyway, yeah, that's all my sweaters. I'm sure there's a few stragglers out there in my wardrobe, probably in the laundry, because I have started wearing them because there was like a slight chill in the air and I was like, yes. This also does not include my sweatshirts. So if you want a separate video about that, there's not nearly as many. It's not nearly as unhinged. There is a massive pile next to me and now I'm really regretting this because now I have to put all of these away. Let me know what your favorite sweater was. I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that this was a cozy time for you and not too chaotic. Just comment, yell at me in the comments if I said something wrong or if I pronounced something wrong because it helps with my engagement and I honestly don't mind because the more engagement I get, the more money I make. Yay, and the more sweaters I can buy. All right, I'll see you guys next time. This has been a hell of an outro. Okay, bye-bye. Like and subscribe. I knew there were more. Why am I like this?